Hello everybody and welcome to the video. In today's video we're going to talk about how I recorded this news feature piece for a UK broadcaster. Over the last few weeks we've been planning a feature piece to be shot over 2 days. In this video I'm going to break down how I shot some of those scenes. In terms of kit, we used the Sony FX6 with two lenses, the 16-35 GM and the 70-200. I shot this in Cine EI or S-Log3 and then used a basic conversion after. So before we get into the breakdown, please remember that this is a piece for news, meaning you have certain limitations. Often you don't know the location that you're shooting in, and then you also don't have too much time to play in, so you could only have 10-15 minutes to get all the shots you need. So you have to be really quite reactive and think on your feet when trying to get the best shots you can with those limitations. The first scene we're going to break down is this one where someone is making Hong Kong style milk tea in their conservatory. Now, as it's a conservatory and there's windows everywhere, a lot of sunlight is flooding in. This means we don't have control and it's not the best case scenario in order to get the best looking shots. However, with the station being set up where it is and noticing that there is a wall screen left, that adds somewhat as negative feel to the shot. So with those limitations I decided to shoot face on and slightly facing left in order to make sure I can get somewhat of a 45-degree angle, creating as much depth and as pleasing light as possible. For the shots where I felt like it needed some extra light, I used my P60C with a softbox, wrapping round slightly and making it a slightly more pleasing look for the talent. The next scene we're going to break down is this anonymous interview. Now obviously, as an anonymous interview, it has its own set of challenges. And the first thing I decided to do when entering the interviewee's house was decide where to film. The first thing I noticed was a large window. Now what I decided to do was place the talent facing towards the camera and have the window background. So what I decided to do was expose for the window, but also try and backlight from that way. So what I decided to do was set my Tamron 200D outside and shine directly in. Not only do the blinds create pools of light and break up the light, it also backlights the talent a little bit, whilst also the figurines at the bottom. This, I think, given the circumstances, creates quite an appealing look for an otherwise challenging shot to make. The final part we're going to talk about is how I shot the football team. Now, in order to be flexible and be able to run and gun, I used the 16-35 GM so I could be handheld and get in as many places as I could. But when the game kicked off, obviously you have no idea where the ball is going to be, so I decided to use a 70-200 GM lens. I found this lens to be a perfect combo for capturing sports. Obviously it can be so far away or it can be up close and personal. So the feature that I found the most useful for this was obviously the touchscreen autofocus. So I was able to click on a player and track them the entire way across the pitch when they were running with the ball. This created a fast-paced dynamic shot and something much needed to the piece, adding that bit of variety and that kind of fast-paced action that you associate with football. Anyway, if you want to see the full video, the link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.